Hey, how y'all doing? Get my AirPods in. It's a wine and FaceTime. Just type in the caption. Hi, friend. Hi, Suss and Satin. How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me okay? I hope y'all can. So, today I want to talk about insecurities. I have not been feeling myself lately, and I definitely want to be more consistent with this wine and FaceTime platform. Good night, my queen. Thank you for popping in, showing me love. I really appreciate you, Aretha. Miss you so much as well. Hope all is well with you. So, I do have my wine glass here today. Hi, Suds and Satin. How are you? Tonight, we're going to talk about insecurities. I've been having a couple of days and definitely feeling a lot better today, but mentally, definitely am not my best. Hi, Miss Lorraine. How are you? So good to see you. Thank you for popping in. Good evening. How are you? I want to talk about insecurities tonight. Y'all can feel free to want to join the screen if y'all want to. If not, it's all good. No pressure. I want to do this every Saturday. I want to do 7 o'clock on Zoom for people that are not comfortable. Yes, girl. Sip, sip. Good day, good evening, good evening. Hi, hello. It's so good to see you guys. Thanks for joining in. I want to talk about these insecurities, y'all. I was telling y'all I was not feeling myself this week. I know y'all saw my post, y'all saw my story. Y'all probably was like, what is wrong with this girl? What is she talking about? What's up with her mood? Thank you guys for logging in. Again, I want to keep this on 7:30s on Instagram Live, and I want to do 7 o'clock on Zoom because I want to respect those people that feel like I don't want to talk publicly. I don't want people screen recording me. I don't want people knowing my information. So I want to keep it 7:30 live on IG and 7 p.m. Zoom. The Zoom information will always be the same each and every time. So if you see the Zoom link and password in my post for today, it'll be that same information every Saturday at 7 if you don't want to sit here on the live. But let's just get into it because I'm a couple minutes late. So insecurities. Hey, how are you? Thank you for joining in. How are you? Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. We're talking about insecurities tonight. So I'm pretty sure y'all probably felt like, oh, she doesn't have any insecurities. She looks great. Her body looks great. She's working out. She eats right. And she probably is just the most confident person. And I am not. I am not the most confident person in the world. I had insecurities like everybody else. And if you saw my post this week on IG, I was talking all kind of things about all kind of things, and that was a key sign. Like, okay, she gets stressed out like everyone else. She goes through stuff like everyone else. She doesn't have good days like everyone else. She got problems like everyone else. So that's why I want to do this wine and FaceTime because I feel like we're all connected. We all go through stuff together, and at the end of the day, like sometimes you need to just change the situation. Sometimes you need to look at it from another perspective. Sometimes you need to do to make you happy. But before we get into all of that, I definitely am sipping some stuff here. I haven't sipped it yet. Instead of me having wine tonight, I won't lie, I'm actually thinking about something a little bit different. So I had a little Corona blackberry lime salsa drink, which I'm like, all right, that'll be cool because I won't be too buzzed. Because sometime I'll notice I'm having too much fun on wine and FaceTime. I'm ready to go to bed as soon as I log out of wine and FaceTime. So back on topic though with the whole wine and FaceTime thing. We want to talk about insecurities. Why do we have them? Where do they come from? How do we get over it? And what do we do? We see the most famous and successful people have insecurities and are not happy and they're depressed and they sometimes commit suicide over drugs or they kill themselves for other reasons because they're not internally happy. So what does all this mean? Like what do our insecurities mean? What do our issues like? What do we do all of that? I go to therapy twice a month. I don't really indulge all of my business in my close friends and my close family members because I felt like I've done that before and it bit me in the ASS afterwards. And people who confided in pretty much held me to high standards when I made mistakes that they could not tolerate. So I definitely stopped telling my friends and family everything and really said, okay, I'm gonna go to therapy. I'm gonna speak to someone who doesn't know me, who's biased, who give me great opinions and advice, and help me work my ways to where I want to be. And I'm loving the process of it. I'm not, second thinking it. I wish I would have did it years ago, but I'm not gonna beat myself up too much because I need to feel uplifted more often. I need to be around people who uplift me more often. Oh, really? Thank you, Aretha. I didn't know that. It says it's freezing. Okay, let me try to log back out and log back in. Thank you guys. I'm gonna log back out and log back in just because someone's saying that there may be some freezing issues on the live. So I'll be right back, guys. Shit happens, right? It happens to the best of us. We all go through things, and we can't always blame someone else for why we're going through things. We have to take accountability for our actions when we see that we're falling short in the area, especially if we're manipulated or used or abused in a situation. We got to take accountability for the role we play in it, whether it's head in the sand, naive, dumb, whatever the case is. Like, we definitely got to play our role. So, again, tonight's Wine and FaceTime was definitely about, insecurities. Why do we have them? Where do they come from? How do we deal with them? What do we do with these things? And for me, insecurities came for me from young, from elementary school, being tall and skinny, being flat chested with big butt and big hips, in elementary school, and having thick, bushy, full, curly hair that, was never permed. And whenever I would get it hot pressed, it would just puff up in a matter of days and hours. Having a pH balance issue from like childhood to now, where I have to take so many showers and use so many deodorants just to stay dry, and still doesn't even work, to the point where I've been to a doctor to get medicated deodorant and possibly talk about Botox under the underarms. Not having my dad in my life, earlier on, and just being with my mom and all the women in the house, the grandmas, the aunties, the female cousins, and not really knowing what a man's presence meant in the household, or knowing what my father's presence was, or knowing what a man's role in the household was. Like, all those insecurities, I feel like, made me learn and confine and grow to a way to understand things the way I want to, and not really know the right or wrong way to do things and make certain decisions. But, to each his own, we've all had those stimulus and situations, from childhood to young, especially if you was born in the 1980s, you definitely fell into this pandemic. I mean, not pandemic, you definitely fell into well, yeah, I guess you can say the crack pandemic. You were a product of the 80s. Your parents probably were definitely getting high at some point, no matter where they lived. You were born in the 80s. Everyone's parents were getting high because everyone's parents were born in the 1960s, and crack and all that was really good back then. Look at all the movies. Godfather, Frank Lucas, American Gangster, Bumpy Johnson. All these movies and shows take place in those times where poverty was low and crack was high and the economy was crazy, and white America or black America was just a whole different tune than as it is now, hence. So for me, it's just good, entertaining, and exciting for me to be able to produce a platform where people can come speak openly here on Zoom, where the whole world is not listening and commenting and chipping in on everything, as well as a platform such as Facebook or Instagram, where people can publicly join in, and just see what the conversations are about, if they're interesting to them, if they have any value to add to them, if they can learn anything from them, as well as, if it's something they would consider doing, on a consistent basis, chiming in, seeing what the weekly discussions are about, or just seeing, the type of energy or the type of advice that are maybe coming through the platform. So those are all good things and options, because we all know at some point some of these type of talks and outlets aren't free. They charge money. They want to check your insurance. All these other factors may come along with it. So again, for me, that's my approach with it and everything. And this is not something I thought I would ever be doing. I never thought I would be, discussing my issues, concerns, problems with the world, or with people I don't know, and getting advice or sharing tips and tricks and venting with each other is definitely not something I thought I would be doing. But I think I'm at the point where I'm just tired of being so much in my head all the time. I'm tired of always overthinking everything. I'm tired of always procrastinating about things. I'm tired of always being nervous to make decisions or worrying about so many decisions that I just want to get out of my head for the rest of my life. Like I'm tired of living in my head, overthinking things, can't make a decision, always being so indecisive all the time. Like I'm just so tired of living like that. I think I'm looking for something different where I have that free liberty and will to just make executive decisions and not think twice, a third about them. And I want to get there. I think that comes with confidence, that comes with strength, that comes with, support, that comes with having better core values, loving on myself more, appreciating myself more, being more humble possibly, as well as possibly, just, creating or being in a circle where I can be uplifted all the time. If I make mistakes, I'm not so negatively, scorned about it, just learning from my mistakes, not it being a tough love situation all the time, actually, using the resources and tools to, see things differently, apply them differently, and learn them, without feeling like, it's the end of the world type of situation, but environments are important too. The environments we grew up in dictate a lot with us, and some of us may realize it, some of us may don't. But I think I'm starting to realize, the various environments I grew up in from childhood to now, being 39, they definitely have molded me in various ways. Some good, some bad, some, hard knock life, parts of the game that everyone goes through, and some just more or less of, you know, shit happens, situations happen, and you can't always point a finger to blame someone necessarily, but in actuality, some go through worse, some are silver spooned, and some just can't relate. And we can't always compare ourselves to Jack, Joe, John, Jill, and everyone else, who is our age or looks like us, because we all come up different from a different lifestyle. We have different upbringings, different roots. So it's different for all of us, whether you black, brown, Latino, white, Japanese, Chinese, every culture, they bring different values, different traditions and unfortunately for me, coming from the Black and Brown and Latino community, I grew up in households and situations where a lot of topics of discussions were what happens in this house stays in this house. You don't spread family business, you don't talk to police so much, you don't snitch on people, you keep family drama and secrets in, you don't talk to anyone for help, you don't get therapy, you don't get advice, you don't share any business, you keep it all in. And growing up in that environment and becoming a mother, I may be indirectly teaching my children that and not even realize that, whether it be good or bad, So again, these wine and FaceTime talks are so therapeutic for me, in addition to just sharing the platform with you guys, because sometimes we all need an outlet. And sometimes we don't know what's the right outlet. And sometimes we waste so much of our time talking to our friends and loved ones thinking that they got the best advice because they've been through stuff that we haven't been through. And that's not necessarily the best advice and necessarily the honest truth of the whole matter either, So we definitely got to be better at making decisions on who we discuss our business with, what we tell people, who we tell, certain things to, or, just not telling people anything at all, just handling your business the best way you can, but also being able to have that option to have that self-control and, humility to have everything together at once, still being a mother, still being a sister, still being a teacher or a worker or a union rep or, a consultant or accountant, wearing all the hats you wear and, trying to not skip a beat. It's a lot. Women don't get credit for it enough, in my opinion. And women are still minorities, and Black women especially, we're still minorities on so many different platforms and industries. We still make less than the white woman, the Black man, and the white man. So, we still have so much making up to do. And again, it's great to talk to like-minded people who share the same core values and experiences and understand the struggle and can relate to you and, give advice and share experiences and stories and just vibe with each other and, support one another. It's definitely seeming like it's hard to get us all united, but maybe slowly but surely in different industries it'll happen. But pretty much that's it. That's all for me for this one on FaceTime via Zoom. The Zoom is only for people that don't want to discuss their situations publicly and openly, or people who just don't want to be on social media and just want to be able to live these to just say, I popped in somewhere, I popped out, I don't got to see nothing,